Hello, everybody, and as Brian said, welcome to the next session. From a Waterstart perspective, that is certainly what our focus is in terms of changing the world. When we look back at the last 12 months, what we can see is a series of fires, floods, and now a global pandemic. What I think is a recognition is that the water industry and those that work within it are faced with some additional crises relevant to the economic issues that are now coming as a result of a pandemic, but even more so here in Australia, where we were subjected to a global terror attack relevant to cyber security. In recognition of that, it means that there's no shortage of problems for us within the IT sector or within the water sector to solve. Waterstart's role is to look at how we can collaborate and bring the parties together to solve those common problems, and most importantly, work with everybody across the sector to ensure that we can collaborate and work effectively. When we think about what life will be like in the coming 12 months, we face an additional crisis relevant to the economic cliff, relevant to paying back the debt and associated issues tied to a global pandemic. There are indeed many challenges. There is no shortage of problems that we need to solve, but most importantly, there is certainly no shortage of great technology and innovation that exists out across the globe. And you've certainly seen a large recognition of that over the course of the last 3 days. Waterstart and its mission is particularly not so much around what we need, it's actually about what you need. And it's how we can help support all of our members and bring global technology to your doorstep and ensure that we can help fund pilots and connect people in the right way. How we do this is explicitly around a core set of skills in partnering, in collaborating, and understanding the learnings that take place across the entire industry sector, particularly when it comes to capturing the knowledge and the skills and the implications tied to innovating the water sector. Next slide, if I could. Waterstart is an apolitical, not-for-profit water innovation agency, which means we've got nothing to sell. Our opportunity is that we can provide funding, we can help connect, and most importantly, we can help solve problems. As mentioned, there's a real recognition that the problems that we face are really quite significant. But if we look at ourselves as human beings, our biggest difficulty is our ability to collaborate, to break out of the barriers and the silos that exist, and to work collaboratively together and solve those issues together. Our focus is definitely on our members, and indeed they exist from water managers and utilities right through to large water consumers. And there's a recognition that every utility and every major water consumer has got different issues and certainly has different architectural platforms and will be migrating towards different types of technology. Our job is to bring those people together and help co-fund and test pilots and learn from that experience. Next slide, thanks. Our business model is pretty simple. We go out to market and we look for our sponsors, which are both public and private. We ask for some cash and that goes into a commercialisation fund. The purpose of that fund is to co-fund pilots with our members and help support technology companies to get and to deliver and pilot their technology capability. Currently, we have in excess of about 100 priorities that need to be satisfied by different types of technology. We work with our members, identifying those, going out to market through around about 4 requests for proposals each year. Once pilots are undertaken, we will then share that knowledge and make sure that case studies are developed so that everybody is aware and understanding what the learnings are. Our only goal from a Waterstart perspective is to look at our return on investment, create economic development, jobs, and support our tech partners and our members. Next slide, thanks. When you recognise that collaboration is an easy word to say, in reality it's a little bit harder. Where our success has been is, as I mentioned, we have over about 100 member priorities. We've deployed about 27 technology pilots, and we have about $2 million in available funding that we can help support tech companies, co-fund pilots, and make a real difference relevant to them implementing their technology into our member portfolios. We get responses from around about 21 companies around the globe, so we are a truly international firm looking at all sorts of technology from around the globe. And we've delivered about $30 million in valuable propositions and priorities out the other side of the door with a value proposition in terms of those technologies. Currently, we impact around about 10 million users in the water industry, with a view that we'll go up to about 100 million over the next 3 to 5 years. And we're sitting at about 30% adoption. And the next slide, thanks. When you look at our team, sitting in the United States, I've got Nate and Rebecca, Danielle and Kev, and here in Australia, we've got Kim and myself. Next slide, thanks. Our members and partners are quite extensive and quite diverse, both from water utility sectors through to resorts, mining, and we continue to diversify as we move through. Our sponsors, particularly the Queensland Government, Wells Fargo, One Drop Foundation, Enterprise Island, and our Governor's Office in Nevada. Next slide, thanks. As I said, our needs are really your needs. It's our job to help bring global water technology to your doorstep. We want to share the learnings along the journey that we have and make them publicly available for all to see. We want to advance investment in the sector, and we want to make sure that we have opportunities through our network for technology innovators. We will continue to diversify our members and ensure that we look after our utilities and our water providers and consumers. Ultimately, it is our job to lower the risk of trialling and implementing new technology. And at the end of the day, support for water tech innovation is what it's all about. If you need to get in touch, there's our contact details. The fabulous Kim and myself are always available to take your call. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Andrew.